I can get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from August. I did. Okay. So we'll strike out Tammy's name. Tammy was will not be in. Tammy will not be in these minutes. So we'll amend that.
And
Jana was here.
she was?
Yeah.
I thought I heard her.
Yeah. That's correct, right?
I was-
Gayla, okay, yeah, you took off, okay. All right, so strike out Tammy.
See, after you did that on the last page, too,
Which means I also cannot second the approval of minutes for August.
Okay, we'll strike out Tammy in the odd attendance, the minutes. Updates for special people, no, you were there, sorry.
That I was there.
Yes, you were there, sorry. Let's see.
That should be it, I think, everything else.
on the last page.
Oh, yeah.
Tammy, okay. So if, yeah, just anywhere it said Tammy, it was, now I don't remember who. It was Jama or Kathy.
I'm guessing on the last page, that was me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, Kathy on unfinished business number 2.
And the German. I believe that was
Yeah,
Jackson.
I did more when I was gone than I do when I'm here.
She's busy.
Just kidding.
Okay, is that all the corrections y'all see?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes amended?
A motion to approve the minutes amended.
Make it a second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. All right, moving on. We have a new face up here. Her name's Miss Mina Oldham. So Miss Mina is our new board member. So we had a vote with the Board of Commissioners at our meeting in August. And so Tammy was voted back on, Brett was voted back on, and now Miss Mina is with us. So just want to take a minute and let her just kind of introduce herself to you all and welcome aboard.
Thanks, Kelsey. Hi, everyone. Like Kelsey mentioned, my name is Mina Oldham. My family and I moved to Townsend about 2 years ago, but we're in the East Tennessee area for about 4. We moved from Richmond, Virginia. We've got 3 little kiddos, ages 1, almost 4, and 5. So I joke with this group that I have a very vested interest in parks and recreation in Townsend. I had a long career with the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond for about 10 years, and earlier this year gave that up after the birth of our 3rd kid, just because it was a little bit too much. So I have a little bit more time. I've been looking for a way to get involved in the local community, and this is something I'm really passionate about, so excited to be joining the group.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. So one thing that I missed, Brett, when you came on back in, was that April, I think was when you initially came on?
Yep.
We did not do Desert Island with you. And so, so remember when we did that the first time? Okay, so this is kind of like an on-the-spot thinking game. Yeah, no. So what we did was I just asked everybody, what are 3 things, help me if I'm wrong, 3 things that you would have to bring with you if you were stranded on a desert island?
Wasn't it like one thing and one person?
One thing, one person. I think it was one thing.
One thing, one person, and one, we have 3 things, I think.
Food.
Maybe.
Food. One thing, one person, and food.
Would you
Wow.
need to choose a food that you would bring?
Yeah. So,
Do you have water?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You have water. Okay.
Soup or just,
Okay, so Brett, you go first.
let's see, 3 things.
One person,
one
one thing, one food
At
item.
this point in my life, I would bring my wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
so great. How sweet.
At this point, what
Before she was my wife, yeah.
I guess I'll take that.
One food, barbecue.
Barbecue, okay,
Barbecue.
okay.
And another item would be, how big of an island?
Make it count. I don't know, Brett.
Big enough to drive my
It's-
machine, my Polaris side by side.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
As long as the island's big enough for that, I would.
Okay, thank you, Brett. All right, so,
I'm judging here, Kelsey.
yeah, there's your judges.
So person would also be my husband, because I can't possibly choose one of my 3 children, even if they're not present. Food, I make a pretty mean sourdough loaf, and bread would be like my final meal, but good bread. So it would be
Good
good
bread.
bread.
Okay.
That would last me indefinitely,
Okay.
obviously. Thing, God. Maybe like, sounds cheesy, but like a journal.
Okay, a journal. Yeah.
Because you gotta do something for the mind, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So girly.
Look around, Brad, look around.
I'm not that
Okay, all right, great answers, all right. So, moving on to number 2. So, we just had an election and everything, so, I believe in the bylaws, it says, every 2 years. So it's time for us to re-elect a chairman and a vice chairman for Parks and Rec. So, if you all have nominations for chairman, you can go ahead and make nominations, and then we'll move on to vice chairman. So we'll vote for chairman and then we'll vote for vice chair.
I nominate Kelsey Satterfield, chairman. I second the nomination.
Good. Any more nominations for chairman?
I'd like to nominate Kathy for vice chair.
Okay,
Still chairman.
we're still on chairman. We're gonna vote for chair and then we'll move on, but, okay. Okay, so any more nominations? Okay. All right, well, I will abstain from voting then, so, all those in favor for me,
Chair.
say aye. Okay, all right, anybody opposed? All right. Okay, so let's move on for nominations for vice chair. Take it away.
Let me begin. I will nominate Kathy for vice chair.
Okay. Okay, yeah. All right, anybody else? Okay, all right, so Kathy's on the table, so all those in favor for Kathy for vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Vice Kathy.
Okay, all right, Kathy is our new vice chair. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All righty, number 3, the newsletter, resident and business club organization spotlight. So it was my turn for the month of September to choose a resident, so I've chosen Alice Snyder. Some of you may know her. She lives in Cave Cove Reserve. Dale, probably, I believe you know Alice. So a couple of you may, but she bought, the very first condo, when Kate's Cove Reserve, like that HOA started, she was the first one to purchase, her and her husband Harry, and so I've known them since, I think, 2017, or 2018. And, but they did not move here to live here full-time until a year ago. So they've only lived in Townsend full-time for a year, but, they sold the condo and bought a house at Kate's Cove Reserve, so they live there now. She retired from being in the hospital. I think she was she was an RN for many years, and then she worked in the hospital where she was, I forget, Dale, they're from Illinois. They're from Illinois, and so they traveled back and forth a lot to Townsend. But Alice and Harry, you may see them start coming to some things. They're coming to bingo, and she now that she's retired from the medical career, she's in real estate. So, but she's my pick for resident spotlight this month, and I interviewed her today. And I believe it was your pick for business club or organization. So who have you got?
So I was gonna do the new event center, the Willow Ridge Center. So I emailed them, Willow Ridge, the new event center.
Okay, Willow
Street.
Ridge.
Yeah, so I emailed them, I'm just waiting for them to email me back.
Which used to be called
I have no idea.
Cooper's Cove.
If he's
Okay.
interested.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. And if you've got the set of questions already? Okay.
I do, yes.
All right, wonderful. Okay, moving down to number 4 is the birthday club that we started at Townsend Elementary. So we did the first one, I believe it was August the 27th, and boy, they were happy, weren't they? So we gave them popsicles as a treat, just because we can't do cake and ice cream because maybe not every kid can have, all that stuff. But Connie said that popsicles were good, so we're just going to keep giving them popsicles. We may try to do something a little warmer in the winter months for them to snack on. But this group, we had 27 kids in the birthday club for July and August. So we will be doing the June birthdays when it comes May. So we'll include the June birthdays then. But there was 27 kids, which is like a fourth of the school. So we got all of those birthdays done right then and there. Most of them were in kindergarten. So, but we put together some birthday bags. You may have seen them on our Facebook page. But Kathy put those together, and we gave them just some stuff that was school approved that all kids like. We gave them slime, little slime, and the little pop fidget keychains, and just we wanted to celebrate them because we love our kids here, and so we want to celebrate their birthday no matter what. And there's only like 105 kids there, so, but we're really excited to do that once a month for the kids. And actually, we put on Amazon a wish list of if anybody wanted to purchase any of the items that we were putting in their bags, and I mean, it got bought up, so like we have more donations for the bags for the coming months, so. Any more ideas on that though? The way that we were doing it. The best time to come in is the last 30 minutes of school. And that's when Connie said that it was the best. Yeah, because, and we only need them for about 15 minutes anyway.
Yep.
It's very quick.
Yeah. Are we gonna pick like this, like a routine day, like every month?
Like probably one day the last week of the month. Just
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was on like a Thursday, so we just have to coordinate with Connie, like if they've got anything going on
I gotcha.
that week. So I just have to look at their schedule and kind of coordinate that with her.
I
Yeah, we may want to look, I think we got there about 2 o'clock. And we may want to ask her, because I think there was a little confusion that one of the classes gets out right at 2:10, so I don't know if we need that.
Come
It
in
might,
2:15.
might need to wait till like,
Or, yeah, or there, but that was a lot of kids though, so maybe the fewer kids won't be so.
yeah. We'll have fewer kids in September, but she did say that what they were gonna do next time is a grade at a time. Like they weren't gonna send all the kids down to the cafeteria at one time. So that might be a little bit easier to manage.
There's not gonna be that many kids.
There's not gonna be that many, and I thought it was fine, I thought it was,
No.
the kids were very well.
No, yeah, they were so excited,
Good.
so happy. Okay,
Keep doing it.
okay.
If we need to change up ideas, prices, money, or,
Yeah.
we can always do that.
Sure. But they were, that was a lot,
I loved it.
yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Christmas parade. So I believe y'all have the manual and application in front of you, and last month we did go over this a little bit. I think we got most of the things out of the way though.
I think we did, we had the, a few things you were gonna speak to the attorney about.
Yes, I have not heard back. Um, yeah, I've not heard back about that. Because we were gonna talk about, and I feel like we should just go ahead and put it in here and just, let's see how we wanna word it, but with the big rigs that are in the parade, Kathy, I think you said if it's how many axles?
I would say anything over 2 axles is mandated that you have an escort on either side of the vehicle.
Yeah, I think that we, you know, if you all agree, should put something like that.
Are we talking about the safety of the kids?
Yes,
Yeah.
Following along with
yeah, there
bigger
was some
trucks?
concern that the last year people saw the kids running a little too close to get can't get into the vehicle that big, they can't see all the peripheral.
Hey Kelsey, are you gonna have a limit as to how big, because I had an email today from Premier Coach in Knoxville, they want to put a 45-foot long bus in the parade.
What's that?
Really?
A 40
Charter
foot,
bus.
did you say 40-foot long?
45 foot.
45-foot long charter bus.
And see, we don't charge by axles or by feet, it's
Yeah.
just a flat 15. So you're, man, I didn't know.
Okay.
It's not so much the charge for the vehicle, it's the safety
Yeah,
of the
right.
kids running up to it as
They
they're
They
throwing
were
it.
just wanting to know
So-
what the fee would be, because of how long they are, that we've never had an entry that size, so.
I think we'll be okay. I think if they just have more than
Concern.
2 axles, they just,
Well,
yeah.
you know.
Let's go back to that 2 axle. I mean, so many vehicles, fire trucks, tow trucks, dump trucks, are only 2 axle. So I don't know if that's really
Really
good.
good, not, yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
gonna
ask
be-
if our fire truck.
right.
Yeah, right, I don't think that's gonna be the good requirement that we're
Okay.
looking for. Something, I don't know how, we got judge size.
Sure.
Maybe that's up to the parade people, the people that judge or police the parade of what kind of, what float, I mean, who approves before it goes out, you know, I mean, but you gotta let them know ahead of time, but
Well-
that's just not a good
Yeah.
Yeah.
marker for it.
Okay. The applicants, they're all done in the office, so Gayla usually sees them first, which is why, you know, they called and they said, they were 45 foot
Which would definitely need,
Premier Coach.
because there's just so many vehicles that have the blind spot areas.
Yes,
Higher, taller, longer,
Yes.
wider, which is, again, fire trucks, I hate it, but
right.
it is a legitimate concern.
Mhm.
So how do we narrow that down and choose it, you know what I mean?
Are we talking about the floats too? Because the floats are gonna be,
Floats usually have people
I think the
on.
floats, you have people on them and.
okay, so we're worried about them not having.
We're worried about them, when they're throwing candy like from the cab and.
Anything bigger than a pickup truck or
It's, yeah,
anything larger than a pickup truck? I mean, you should have at least one person per side or something. We can try something, at least get something started.
If it's over so many feet, what if we did length? And if it's over so many feet in length, then they need escorts on both sides. Of the unit.
Yeah, watch the height, is like he said, some fire trucks are high, they
Yeah.
can't see if there's a little kid by their tire.
Dump trucks, dump trucks.
This is just for kids receiving candy,
Yes.
right? So could we change how the candy is received instead of, like if it's too hard to come up with a rule or too many escorts, could we, I don't know, say that, because they're throwing candy,
I
right?
see what you're saying, they
Like
the candy,
change the
has to be thrown
mechanism.
from someone escorting the
Yes,
vehicle as
yes.
opposed from the cab of the
Or
vehicle.
something like that.
Mhm.
If it gets too hard to police, like who's gonna have an
Or
escort?
no throwing candy from a large commercial vehicle, from the cab. I don't know how we gotta do it, like I said, because we've talked before, we know communities that
Yeah.
have changed the law, you cannot throw candy
Throw-
from the vehicle
yeah.
anymore, you have to have parade participants walk down the street.
Which is a reasonable solution.
Yeah, yeah, but that, I hate to see that, but
Kelsey, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Last year, I was over here watching the parade,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't the fact that the kids were running out to get candy from the float that was going by. They were getting candy that was laying on the street from previous loads, and they were running out within a foot or so of these huge tires on 18-wheelers or whatever was out there. And I was scared to death when I was being run over.
Yeah.
So it's not who's throwing the candy, it's who's running up to the vehicle.
Yeah, it's like, how do you police that?
but if the larger vehicle had an escort on each side, they might be able to control the kids from, I mean, I don't want to remove throwing the candy because that's a big deal. It's still a fun thing to do, but safety wise, we gotta address it somehow. And
I was just gonna say, from now on, can you get them to come up to the microphone?
Oh, yeah,
Since we're recording,
sorry,
so that people can hear better.
my bad. Sorry, Dale.
Screwed up.
We'll get there. So how, okay,
I would like to see it addressed as, like I said, any large vehicle, anything larger than, say, a pickup truck. Pickup trucks are 24, 23 feet, 22 feet, 18 feet long.
Yeah.
So I can't judge that. I mean, tow trucks can be single axle tall, but just
Right.
any kind of oversized vehicle. And oversized can be anything larger than a pickup truck or a car. You'd
Yeah.
be required to have.
there's a lot of cars in the parade,
Right.
and like the car clubs and the
Sure.
tractor club and things like that.
They can
Usually-
see.
They can-
They can see.
They
You know,
can
I mean,
see,
their visibility is
yeah.
fine, but I think it's just more commercial, or not, I don't want to say commercial, just larger vehicles and have an escort, at least one escort per side. And they don't necessarily have to be the ones throwing candy, but they're like the safety officer for their float or for their vehicle. Instead of, so they could throw candy from the cab, but somebody should be escorting that vehicle down through to keep what he's talking about too.
Right. Keep kids from-
So it ain't necessarily the person walking on the side throwing candy, you could throw candy from the cab, but somebody is gonna be walking alongside the vehicle to keep kids from running between the wheels, in front or behind. Or we do, like you mentioned, we do away with throwing candy.
From the cab.
Yeah, I don't think.
From the
Yeah.
vehicle.
Just to be clear.
No, I mean, it was suggested.
Yeah.
No, but
It is a good.
Are there like enough people that are stationary, kind of, that follow the parade, that like we could task them with throwing the candy? Not enough.
Well, they're the only people that follow are the actual participants, because we're usually
Yeah.
over here checking people in, which could be a good time too, is checking people in to remind them, we've had some, concern about the children, make sure you're very cognizant about, children running up in front of the vehicle, looking at candy, so just to make the drivers more aware at that time.
because every vehicle throws candy.
Yeah.
Every car.
Because,
every-
and like Pat said, it
Or
wasn't
down
necessarily
every-
the vehicle that threw the candy, it was the kid running out to get a vehicle, the candy from the vehicle prior, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely reminded the drivers.
We could ask for community volunteers if anybody wants to volunteer to help, walk with the parade and see if, for that particular reason. I mean, we do get a lot of people that want to volunteer for stuff, so, everybody loves the parade, but they would be walking in the parade to keep
Or
the kids,
at
so that's an
least
idea.
stationed every so often, to kind of, you're responsible for this area.
I know I speak for Bluff County because
Something like that.
I used to be in charge of the PRs for Blount County Fire. We'd bring a fire truck and we would have 2 people. Sometimes we got a spouse to ride with, so we'd have 2 or 3. We don't have anybody to get out and walk alongside. You're talking 2 more people there. And it's just not,
It's a long walk too.
Yeah.
it is
It
a
is
long
a long
walk,
walk.
but you're not gonna get all those extra people to walk alongside.
Okay. Well, we need something in the manual that addresses it. For just some extra safety measures as far as that goes. So last month, this was just a note that I jotted down, but the city of Townsend asks, and I think I should replace that word with requires, that, and we just said big rigs, we didn't give like a measurement of anything, that big rigs in the parade have escorts around the entry to disperse the candy. But I feel like I agree with Brett, because anything bigger than a pickup truck, I feel like they should have escorts.
Other than the fire trucks, how many other big vehicles other than this 45-foot one? How many big rigs are there actually in that?
Tow trucks, fire trucks.
I mean, there's a lot.
Farm truck with
Farm trailers, county highway department sometimes put vehicles in.
Bigger than a pickup truck?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they put dump trucks or work trucks or tree trucks, tree companies will put things in there. I mean, any
Tow trucks.
commercial business
Yeah.
usually will put something in that could have a large vehicle.
I don't want to micromanage it to death, but because I want people to have fun, but I also, like, safety of our children is a huge deal. There's so many people that come to our parade.
What other communities doing, what Mont County does, what Myrtle does, what Alcoa, Sevierville, I mean, Gatlinburg.
Well, I think in Knoxville, they don't even allow them to throw things anymore.
That's what we'll come to.
Well, where I came from, they marked the streets. They came down and put like a red line down the streets
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah.
as a barrier. And the
Keep the
kids,
kids from running
and the
out.
kids weren't allowed to
Yeah.
run past the red line.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's,
It's hard to parents.
Yeah.
that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my.
So they would put a visible mark barrier.
Okay.
To keep the kids.
And then that's also gonna take education for the first year too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were to decide to do away with the throwing of the candy, but still wanted to include candy as part of it, you could do like a tent and have 2 volunteers from the community staff it, and do it like Halloween style, right? The kids come up, they get a handful of candy, maybe we provide little Christmas bags,
Mhm.
that's their goodie bag, they've gotten their candy, and then they enjoy the parade without that whole dynamic.
Mhm.
So you're not saying no candy, but we're kind of changing how they get, it's less fun, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
do agree that
That's
Our-
that's the
our-
way to lower the people from attending, because I think they come for candy.
Our parade
believe it
is
or not.
ridiculously large.
Yeah.
It's 6 people deep the whole length of town, and it's 90% kids.
Yeah.
They want, I mean, they come away with grocery bags of candy.
Yeah.
That's why there's candy in the road, because they pick and choose what they want, like,
Yeah.
no good, I'll take this. So that's why there's candy in that, right? You know, we clean it up, right? It's just, so.
Well, what if we try to make sure too, to tell people when they're throwing the candy, make sure they're throwing it away from the vehicles, not just, you know, making sure that they're clearing the good.
Well, we could add something on the very back of the manual, on the last page, on the back of the application, there's a release there. I hereby release the city of Townsend, the state of Tennessee, and all participants in the annual Townsend Christmas Parade of any liability before, during, and after the event. I understand the only Santa and Mrs. Claus in the parade will be arranged by the city of Townsend, and that all participants will be operating in accordance with parade officials and Tennessee state and Townsend local laws. I acknowledge that I have read and agreed to abide by all the guidelines set forth in the 2024 Townsend Christmas Parade Manual. Now, we could add something in fact about candy, but we also need to put it under distribution of materials.
Yes. At one time, you were talking and having people initial these
Initially a page,
these highlights, I mean, they don't have to do every paragraph, but that one there, let's reword this bottom one. It says, please ensure that throwing out candy and other items is done in a smart,
Okay.
safe manner as to not allow children to put in harm's way while they're picking up items off the roadway. Somehow make that more forceful, more important, more, and then make them initial it, you know what I mean?
should they initial each page? I mean, they're signing,
I mean,
the very first page it says, by submitting an application, you acknowledge that you have read and agreed to the policy set forth within.
Or we attach a safety bulletin or something, a piece of red paper that brings us to a light, because people don't even think about it, I don't think. I don't think the people that are throwing candy realize what's happening, they're just having a good time.
that's what I'm saying, we need to let them know, like, you have to make sure you're clear.
Right, so when they get this
Space.
packet, there's a big red banner up there and it says, please note, this has become an issue, a safety issue, it's a concern, can we, you know, this needs to be addressed, how do we do it, you know what I mean, that's on the front page. or-
Okay, we can add that, but I need to know how to word it.
Ted, did you want to say something?
Microphone. Ted, come up to the microphone.
You want me to bring him? Or just say it loud?
Just stand up.
Okay,
No, you're adding more people out into the street, and we should do some steps to it, maybe even between the vehicles or back and forth. Some type of reflective shirt or vest or something, so they can be identified, so that the light don't get run over.
Yeah, true.
okay. Thank you, Ted.
Microphone. So,
Not to public input yet.
I am sorry. Do you want me to wait till public input?
Go ahead, it's okay.
I can't. But I know this is important to too, but just watching the parade too, it starts off everybody's at the curb, so even if you're telling them to throw the candy, it's the kids are coming out to the center lane before the vehicles are even there. So they're like, well, I could throw it back over their heads, but they're not going to. They're going to throw it right to the kid that's standing there. So we really got to come up with something that's going to prevent that. Signage, and a police presence ahead of time that's going up and down the road, telling them they have to stay back. Or the parade, I don't know, but that's the main problem. It doesn't matter because the kids are in the middle of the road before the vehicles even get to them to throw candy.
Yeah. Well, I think that, yeah, we should just come out with basically a statement, and that could be attached to every social media post that goes out, every time that it's posted about the parade, any way that it comes up. And
I think just education and outreach, like before the parade is like when the applicants are coming in or calling, like we just kind of, and I know Gayla's swamped, she's by herself. But
And I understand
if you
that-
want to forward calls to me on the parade, that's fine.
I'm more concerned about educating the parents,
Yeah.
as opposed to,
Oh, hello, Dale. Please come to the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Identify yourself, please.
Raise it way up.
So this is such an important piece. What we can do is get volunteers and call each applicant a week before
Okay.
and say, we have a new policy that it's for the risk of children, the candy, and then state to them, tell them over the phone, this is the rules now and you have to follow it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
we can have a whole phone call workshop and just call people. I know it sounds like a lot and it sounds like we're micromanaging, but we're not. We're trying to keep people safe, and we've been fortunate enough to where we haven't had any incidents like that. So, you know, let's keep it that way.
Is it possible to get all the bigger vehicles like towards the end or like together? So like if we did have some volunteers that could walk alongside them or between them to kind of keep it together so it's not spread out?
Well, last year, you and I met with Chief Townsend before the parade, and we kind of worked out, because that was the first year that we lined up at the visitor center, which we are doing again this year. they reached out a couple of weeks ago, and so that fee is waived, the city, we're not having to pay to use the property again, but we do have to figure out with Chief Stallions, because the fire department really, they've been the organizers of the
Right.
parade for many years, so.
Right.
Should we get their input on this?
Yeah, we really should.
Chief involved and
Yeah.
ask him what his thought of it, maybe
Chief
they,
Condy, yeah, Chief Condy and Chief Stallions, we need input.
maybe they're already thinking about this,
Well, they might
you
too.
know?
What we could do is get with them, and meet with them here soon, and just get their thoughts on that too.
Because we're lining up at the visitor center, it does give us a little bit more leeway. I think that they could be like, okay, we're not gonna release the bigger trucks until closer to the end, and then have a few volunteers to kind of like walk along it, so that you're kind of keeping the kids back.
Well, and I think it really was the way, because it was so organized last year, I think that there were just two of us at the visitor center. If we had maybe not just one Polaris, but a couple, and we could kind of make a way along and remind people to keep back, and,
Well, that's also true. I mean, we
because
could,
I'm really more concerned about the parents watching the children run ahead as opposed to
Yeah.
mandating that
Right.
I mean, they need to be aware that this is an issue, but I don't want an accident to happen.
okay. No, me either. Well, we need to meet with them like ASAP,
Okay.
because people are already calling,
Okay.
wanting to apply for the parade. Gail's already been getting phone calls. Well, hello there again.
Your parents or your people that's gonna walk alongside, what are they gonna do when the kid runs out? Gonna grab them?
Touch, whole nother issue, correct?
What are they gonna do to
Whole nother issue.
stop them?
I mean, I think you can verbally intercept that before you have to grab a kid. Like, if you're the volunteer that's doing that, you're watching, right? A kid comes, you say like, no, you can't.
But you can yell at them, and that don't mean that they're gonna
Right.
move. The vehicle's still moving.
I mean,
And then
if
at that
they're at risk,
point,
I'm touching the kid.
yeah, better you grab them than a car hits them. I mean,
Yeah.
But if you grab them, then you got a parent that's probably gonna turn around and sue.
I
yeah, but
mean,
if the car hits a kid,
Yeah,
at
if
the
they're
end
at
of this
risk.
parade, like, I think, there's one incident, and that's, yeah, if a car.
I mean, I
hits a
understand
kid,
what you're saying, everybody's sue happy and you can't do anything, but if I'm the volunteer and a kid is gonna run up and get hit, I'm picking the kid up, I'm moving the kid.
I'd pick that battle. I'd pick the child up and let you come after me rather than
Yeah.
let your child potentially get hit by a car.
Sadly, this all goes back to the parents. We
You're right. Yeah.
No, I
don't
get
know
it.
how that is.
So I liked your idea about can we like establish a marker? That feels like pretty low hanging fruit, but admittedly, I don't know what it would take to do that. to
And that's
level
something
the
that Chief
grade.
Condi might be able to do, yeah.
That seems like one, I mean, I feel like a couple of these ideas combined, just like hitting it from all angles and just making sure everyone is aware at every turn.
Yeah, there's not a
It's not what you do.
one thing solution.
Yeah.
I remember some parades where the motorcycle cops continuously rode up and down, not just before the parade, but during the whole parade.
Right.
So maybe we could have the motorcycle cops doing it, and just be back, you know what I mean? Just constantly, even for a couple of years, until people get the idea of it. So that might be something that.
And this could be something that we even, coordinate with the Townsend or Walland elementary schools and send out something to the parents.
Yes.
If you're gonna be attending the
That's
parade, here's some good rules.
okay.
And social media, because again, we get
Yeah.
people from all over, not just
Right,
Portland,
yeah.
Townsend, but yeah. Well, let's talk to
Let's talk to the chiefs.
the chiefs.
Mhm. Yeah, let's meet with them as soon as possible, like this week if possible. Because last year we went ahead and opened up the applications, I think at the end of September. So we need to finalize
Okay.
this manual before the end of the month.
Okay.
Okay, lots of really good ideas and questions. A few things I didn't even think of. But that's why we're here, and the input. Okay. So let me call them and see if we can do a parade meeting,
Okay.
since we're the entities involved in the parade.
And I don't mind personally being one of the people that goes back and forth or helping them walk by the bigger rigs or
Mm-hmm.
I've got a safety vest. and-
Okay, thank you.
So I feel like if we ask for volunteers, just to kind of keep doing that, I think that. might be-
Okay.
Yeah, I started, I'm sure Brett's in my boat that I was with a larger city that had the manpower to have someone closer every few feet to make sure that that was happening. So we may have to rely on volunteers or
Yeah.
additional staff.
Beverly, do you have any input on this? Just,
I would check with chiefs, but I was talking to Jason, when they have cones and stuff we could put, like barricades that tape through them, kind of like they did for the Jeep thing. We may have to borrow some from other governments, but they broke off where they can't get past that first lane to get out where the guys are going, rates go.
yeah, because the people are on one side of the road. They're not on, or are they on the?
They're on both sides.
They're on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, on both sides.
But, you know, if we have enough volunteers, we may not need it, as long as they can just keep controlling. Okay, but
Again, it's the candy that's laying in the street.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
it
where they're coming
kind of
out
works
to
hand
get
in
it.
hand. If the
Right.
kids stay back, the people are gonna
Throw
throw
it
it farther,
farther, yeah.
so it works
Mhm.
together.
Right.
And if there's stuff in the street, you can, that's what I was gonna say, you can bring like a leaf broom or something and like.
Can we take a leaf blower and just?
Yeah.
Blow it
I don't know.
to
Or
Volunteer.
They've got people that follow the horses around, so, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get me started with the horses. Okay, okay, all really good.
Did you limit the length like she asked originally?
Hmm.
She originally brought up this 40-foot long bus. Did you guys decide that's okay?
No, we haven't decided that,
I just,
no. That's a big, I mean, that's a big,
What's RV?
Do the windows even open on a bus like that?
Mhm.
So like, what's the?
I think they just advertise it as something.
The charter bus does?
what is this group that asked the question? What are they called?
I think it was Premier Coach.
Premier Coach.
Maybe that would require a phone call, what is this for, are you gonna have people in it, are they gonna be filling candy, I mean.
Also, I mean, how would they, if the windows don't open
Yeah.
on a coach bus, sounds like they do,
Yeah,
how would you?
yeah, but then again, it could be the whole kids running up to get candy that's left in the street that they didn't throw.
I think we need a size limit though, I mean,
Yeah.
and a height. All right, we need a parade meeting, because there's a lot of really good,
Yeah.
okay, good questions. Okay.
You said you did not hear back from the attorney on the
Mm-mm.
other wording that we were questioning?
No. I will follow up, so.
Yeah.
All right. This is why we start talking about Christmas early and not like in November. We don't wait till November to do this. Okay. Anything else regarding the Christmas parade? I'll let you all know when they can both meet with us and we can go over it with them. Bingo. Number 6, bingo night, September 16th. We just need to finalize what we need. I mean, we know the drill at this point. We need more prizes. Laundry detergent's a big hit. Everybody needs laundry detergent. You know, some of the businesses that we haven't talked to yet, they might be willing to donate some things. I have an idea for like the holiday months, like November and
So I
December.
was gonna pick up like some Halloween stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I thought that would be cute.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
you know. So I thought, but I agree, like as we get close to certain holidays, we could get.
I thought for November, like when we do bingo, we could do like a gift card to, Honey Baked,
Oh, that's good. That's good, yeah.
like a $50 gift card to Honey Baked. You can not only get a ham, but you can get sides with it too.
That's a great idea.
And then we could also do a grocery store gift card for that, you know,
That's a good idea.
that would be, we could have a few prizes like that.
Mhm.
Help some, you know, it might help some families out for the
Yeah.
holidays.
I've been getting the Kroger one.
Yeah, right, and
That's one of the first ones to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need some more prizes. We've still got, you know, we've got stuff, but, you know, we need to add some new, fresh things to the tables. If you buy anything, be sure to keep receipts, okay?
I keep saying it, I never, but that's okay.
One question for you, are we still not having music that night, the same night as bingo? Or
Correct.
we eliminated them for that night?
Yeah, they have an email that know that they can't use the building at all.
Perfect, because
That really helps.
made a big difference last time, yes,
With
so,
parking.
yeah.
Yeah, that was very helpful for the parking situation. In here. I'm sorry, Mina, do you have any questions? You have a lot of questions, I'm sure. Okay. We also need snacks,
Oh.
some more snacks.
Okay.
So last time we did floats, which were a big hit. But,
What do you want to do this time? Pizza,
well, definitely, we'll always do popcorn, as long as Tim's available. We'll always do popcorn, I'm just kidding, I can do popcorn, no problem.
Are we good on bags and popcorn?
I think we're good on bags. If we're not, Pat can order some more.
Just let me know.
Okay.
Water, I know some people were kind of asking for some candy. Like something
Okay,
sweet.
yeah, some little
I'll go
stuff.
and try to pick up some candies and stuff.
Let's have like a big candy ball.
Yeah.
With some chocolate and
Yeah.
then some,
I think chocolate's a big hit.
okay. I think most of the granola bars and like
Those went well, yeah.
those went pretty fast.
Okay.
I think I brought some little Debbie cakes.
Yeah.
People snatched
There was
those up
nothing
pretty
left,
quick.
so whatever.
There was nothing left, yeah. Whatever we bring, just
Yeah,
bring
that's
plenty.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
How many people attend?
We have,
50-ish.
yeah, we have 75 RSVPs, but usually we can bank on people
Not coming.
about, you know, maybe about 10 to 12 of them no show. So that actually works out for us. He's checking the bags.
Makes
thanks,
sense.
Tim.
Okay, yeah. So,
Do we
yeah.
have more water bottles?
I don't know, do we need more water? Jason, do we have plenty of water?
We need to get some more.
We need to get some more water?
Yeah, I went the other day to go get some, and they was what they sold out. So
Oh.
I'll pick it up just as soon as.
Okay. If, yeah, just as long as we have, and I'll get tea and lemonade like I always do.
Okay.
And just whatever y'all wanna bring, really, as long as we have stuff. And we may try to do something special for,
Especially the coastal holidays, I think.
the
that's a great
holiday
idea.
months, yeah, and the winter months when it's pretty dead here, people still need things to do, January and February, I still think we need
It might
to
be
plan.
good, it might be good here.
It might be,
Bring more people.
never know. Okay, any questions about bingo?
Yeah, the new person has to call the bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
That's the rule, just because Tammy's had to do it the past few times.
Let me make a note of that.
Okay.
B-17.
That is, it's been a really big hit.
Yeah, everybody does that.
The locals love it.
Yeah, it's not smart.
I purple some of
If you show up not in a sparkly dress again, we're gonna have problems. Okay, now we're down to public input, which that's kind of already been happening, so. Now's the time.
We need more bags.
Tim, do we need more bags?
There's a little less than 200.
Okay, we're okay.
So we're okay for now.
Okay.
Oil's good? Is there enough oil?
Yeah,
Should be, yes.
yeah, there should be, because I bought more.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi there.
welcome to public input.
Well, thank you, I'm glad to be first. This is just a random idea. The people throwing candy,
Okay,
maybe they need to be responsible adults instead of kids. A lot of times there are kids on there that are 3, 4, 5 years old
Wow.
throwing the candy.
Mhm.
And maybe it just needs to be responsible adults
Mhm.
throwing the candy. That might help. It doesn't fix it, but it might help.
okay.
That's it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We have multiple good
We'll
ideas.
make it.
Yeah.
It's not one fixed item, so.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff Riddle, 134 Myers Road.
Thank you for coming, James.
So first, Parks and Rec meeting. So I saw your presentation on the accessible part,
Yes.
and it's great that you got consultants. Good job there. It seems like this is going to be a long, big project, possible.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't know if they gave you like the best case scenario schedule wise. And if they, and maybe they, I think they can, because I know I could in my previous job, not now. And an estimated cost, because more than likely, I know very little about the overall budget, but you don't have a lot of money
Right.
for that. So you're gonna probably have to apply for grants.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know how long that takes, but I recall the mayor saying he'd never got so many phone calls or emails about that park. And I know that gets politicians' attention. So I don't know what he told them, but if I had a grandmother or son that loved to fish off of that pier, couldn't do it any other accessible place, I would want to know, when's it going to get fixed?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming nobody can tell them that now. So here's is because in my mind, you're a year or more out.
Yeah.
So, what if the only reason it shut down because somebody saw a structural? I went down there. I didn't go past the barrier. So, but you sort of seen it leaning off to the left on one side. I don't know. I'm sure you had your engineer or architect or structural guy look at it. So, I just wonder, and this is for if I'm the politician, and I'm not going to be, I want to know, well, is there something we can fix it? What's there? Enough that all these people that are calling me can use it. And might not be as costly as you think, and I have no idea. If I'm a politician, I at least want to try to pursue that and get some kind of estimate. Hey, it might cost $15,000, and I'm just throwing a number out there. And is that something that Townsend commissioners want to do because this $250,000 project, based on the pictures I saw, might be 2 years? So just something to think about.
Okay.
The other thing on money, if, on a lighter note, if you ever want to do any fundraisers that involve like a running event,
Okay.
then I'd love to help. I won't direct it. I won't go asking people for money, but because be a great race to run from the middle of Townsend, go up Bethel Church Road and go use the Tremont Institute trails, the private trails, do a loop around that and come back like to the Peaceful Side Social or something like that, where that would you could get a lot of people, or the big thing, I know it's something that I would pay for and go to another town. You're not gonna get 1,000 people like they had this weekend. But, I don't know, but if you do anything like that, that's what I did back in Illinois, where we came from. So, that's
Thank you so much, Mr. Riddle.
Thank you.
Did you have?
Well, I was gonna say, a couple things to speak to that, and you can correct me if I'm
Okay.
wrong. But our mayor did in fact ask us to take a look to see if there was something we could fix on that instead. And so when we had some people come down and give us an estimate, it was because we don't have a lot of money right now, and because we have to, we're gonna get it via grants for the most part, right? It wasn't really.
Donations.
Yeah, it wasn't really cost effective for us to fix that in the meantime versus what we're gonna put into it, but definitely point taken, and if we can fix it in the meantime, we will, if we can, because we don't want people not be able to enjoy it
So they didn't give you an estimate?
They gave us an estimate
On time or money?
on both.
Just the structure, just the
To
existing
just
structure.
fix that cement, didn't she say it was gonna be?
Oh, she said it'd be in the thousands,
She said
easily.
And I know back then, I believe it was 2019, they invested almost $20,000 in it, and so in just 4.5 years, it's already
The same structure.
the same problem we're having now, correct? Yeah, so we kind of felt, because that wasn't ours in 2019, it was part of the Maribel Cemetery.
That's what I understood.
Yeah. And then, just to let you know, we can't specifically fundraise because we're, I can't say this word, municipality.
We are not, this board is not allowed to fundraise, but I am gonna touch on that here in a minute.
Okay, but we can take donations.
That's a first that Illinois can do more than what Tennessee can do. That's incredible.
It's pretty, listen, Mr. Riddle, I have asked, I don't know, a couple 100 times, like, are you sure we can't fundraise? Gail has asked,
So
we've tried.
Your Parks and Rec can't put on a race, because this is what I did, or helped, and they can't put on a race and get money.
Could we do it and take donations?
It cannot come from us. A fundraiser cannot come from Townsend Parks and Rec. It has to originate from
You have to put it on and donate the money to us. We can accept the money.
Wow,
Because we're a
I'm
government
surprised.
entity.
Yeah, we're government.
That's
Since
too
we're a
bad.
government entity, we don't have the authority to do a fundraiser.
So I'm from Illinois too, and that does not surprise me that Illinois government will allow you to fundraise.
It is surprising, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me that Illinois will allow you to fundraise.
Oh, I think the opposite.
Yeah,
Because
Okay.
the government is very restrictive.
yeah.
Thank you, Jane.
And one more thing back to the park.
Go ahead.
The architect and the engineer can give us a design but they cannot give us a cost. So then we're going to reach out to contractors.
Well, they can give you an estimate.
She wouldn't even commit to that.
Shoot,
Just
that's
with today's
thousands.
building cost.
Oh, they can give you an estimate. I did it, every job I did for 40 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they should give you an estimate.
Okay.
The actual architect, you think, can do that?
I'm an architect, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she said I can't, because we asked like a ballpark, and she said you're gonna have to get that number from, and she just didn't want to commit and give us a
Well, it's not
ballpark
a
number.
commitment, it's a budget. You gotta have a budget. How do you know what kind of grant to go? She's doing you a disservice. That's,
Okay.
We can double check with her. Let's
oh,
go back to her.
there's no government that will hire an architect and engineer and not have an estimate from them for their project. It's not a bid. I've done estimates and the contractor's bid, and it's more than my estimate. Makes me look bad.
Sure.
Right.
But that's part of an architect engineer's job, because how do you know how much money to ask for?
Plan on, right.
Well, we get that from the bids. We take that design and present it to the contractors, and they would then bid You know, that would give us a number.
They know, what she was telling us is that they know the people who can do that kind of job.
Yes. Yeah, they're familiar with it.
And they would give us that number, those numbers that we need. So either way, because we have to get multiple,
Oh,
I mean, not
yes.
just one.
Right.
Yeah, that's all true, but yeah, they should be able to,
Give us
they're
an
not
idea.
buying you by it, they're not doing the construction.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just doing a service to the, because you're hiring them.
Yeah, we can address that with her.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
question that and see if she can do that.
Okay. Thank you. Any more public input? Okay, we'll close that off. Unfinished business, the T-Mobile hometown grant. So this cycle ends September 30th. I don't see that happening. So we will hit the next cycle, which begins the day after that, October 1st. And it's, I think 90 days is how long the cycle lasts. So they do it 4 quarters a year. The grant that Houston is doing, we've been working on it for a couple of months, and we were kind of back and forth between whether or not we wanted to address the barn at the Memorial Park or the ramp at the People's Park. So it really depended on how quick we could get plans for either park, which thing that we would go for with this grant. And so it's kind of looking like we might get plans for the ramp quicker than the Memorial Park. That's gonna take, I think, a little bit longer for us to do. So, and initially, that's what we started with, was we were gonna do the People's Park. So I still think, you know, we could go for both, but we're gonna be a few months out getting that second one. We need to apply for one, but we can't submit it until we have those site plans. Because T-Mobile asks for professionally done architectural plans, the drawings, the renderings, things like that. So that is what we're waiting on right now.
Just a quick question. These notes from August, they
Yeah.
mentioned that there was a quote or an estimate provided?
That's strictly for the plans.
Yes, for the plans,
Oh,
yeah. Not for the work done.
Can I ask, did that architect say they can't give you an estimate on that building either?
We didn't ask them about the building for the Memorial Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should, because that's an even way easier estimate to give.
Okay. We actually got another engineer to come and look at the barn at the Memorial Park, and they are going to gift us a scope document for that park in its entirety.
Yeah, per your presentation.
No,
Oh, it's
that's
different.
separate.
Oh,
It's a separate part.
Separate.
No, it's,
Okay. So the T-Mobile hometown grant, we will get back to it as soon as we get the plans for either one.
Correct, and we haven't shut up, once we get those plans, I think we should present those to the representative from TDEC or TWRA to
Yes,
see if they have any funds available.
with Thomas Lamb with TDEC.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have him look over those too. Because, I mean, like I said, the Blue Way is still the Blue Way funds are still kind of sitting there, but they kind of have to approach us about it, and I haven't heard anything more about
But once if we had some plans drawn up, that they could actually
They
see
might.
what, that may push them.
it might, Okay. Okay. The cap project. So when you first come in, there's a white barrel to your right, and it's got all kinds of caps in it. And it's almost full. I mean, we're like this much lacking from being full. So once we hit a full barrel, I think the best thing for us to do, first of all, we need to weigh it. But we also need to have what they call in the partnership packet when you apply with the Green Tree Plastics LLC to start a project with them. They really encourage you to do sorting parties and to go through and sort the lids to make sure that there's nothing in there that needs to be taken out. Because if you get to Indiana and they, you're short on, or your caps are dirty, or they have metal, or they have paper, like they can turn you away. So we have to make sure that they're clean and that they're free of residue before we make a trip to Indiana. But once we hit a full bag, Brett has a scale that we can use to weigh it. So once the bag gets full, then we can kind of roundabout see how many pounds we've
How
got.
many bags we need?
Yeah, right. Because we need 550 pounds to make a table. Okay?
Yep.
And actually, we got a pretty big donation from a group. They gave us a letter.
Yeah, ask me who it was for. Melvin Bridges was the gentleman who brought it up here, but I can't remember the name of the group.
Yeah, me either. It was a group for, I forget. Yes, yes. But they made a pretty big donation, I think.
And he left his contact information in case y'all would send a thank you to him.
No, we definitely need to do that, yeah.
The Daily Times did put an article in the paper last week about it, and then WBR contacted me a couple of days ago, and she wants to run a story about it on WBR. So she just has to run it by her team at the news station, and then maybe get a phone interview or in-person interview with a couple of us about the CAPS project and why we're doing it. So we're making progress there. A really good, strong start for the tables. Okay.
So when you said there was a donation, it was a monetary donation?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay.
Cap donation.
I got you.
Yeah, sorry, I
Okay.
should have said
That's
that.
okay, I just wanted to be sure. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Well, now we're back to public input. Okay. We'll close that off then. Other business. So, God, don't kill me. What time is it?
7:12.
Okay, we're okay. We're okay. So let me go to my notes real quick because I did want to bring this up. Since we can't fundraise, and that's a big obstacle of ours, because I know if we could, we would be doing something every week probably. So the last time that we asked, Gayla actually reached out to Angie Carrier. She's our consultant with MTAS, and as she has said before numerous times, we do not have the authority to fundraise. However, when she was the city manager at White House, they had a group that started a Friends of the Library, a nonprofit, a 501c3, and that's all they did. That's all that organization did, was they funded projects for the library, because I guess the library couldn't do it on their own. So this was Angie's advice and this is coming from MCAS, so I believe her. She said if we got some really passionate people that wanted to start a Friends of the Park 501c3, they can fundraise all day long. And we are allowed to be on that board. We can be on that nonprofit, but we cannot start it. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not out here soliciting people to, please start this group so we can get your, that's not how it's supposed to go. I'm just saying that's what the town did where she was city manager. Friends of the Library, they were constantly fundraising for the library because they could not do it on their own. We're in a similar situation. We have things that we want to do, but our hands are tied, grants are not guaranteed, and we have limited funds in our budget.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, a lot of the grants are matching.
and a lot of the grants are matching, so we really have to, you know,
Need money to get money.
so that's just something to think about, because we can serve on that organization. She said that we could, it's just we cannot start it.
Can we, like, establish a list of people that can fundraise for us? Because I know Kate's Go,
A lot, the Gateway Alliance. Yeah.
they were interested in assisting us, you know?
Mhm.
Let's think about other groups that would fundraise for us, and then put the word out about this.
Yeah,
Let an existing group do it.
Yes.
Rather than starting, you know.
sure. I'm just that nobody's coming to us saying, how can we help you? You know, like we're not, and we've been an established board for well over a year. And I think the people know what our needs are. If they've been to either park, they know that we're trying to do good things for the community. It's just, nobody's come to us saying like,
But maybe general public, you know,
But,
they don't
yes.
know, they don't know, right, so.
I'll help the ones that ask for the money, but I'm not gonna ask people for money.
Right.
I'll help that person.
okay,
How do you start a Friends of the Townsend Park?
So you have to start a 501c3, you have to apply to the federal government, get an EIN number. I went through the process a couple years ago.
are you volunteering?
If I recall correctly, you have to almost have a sponsor. The federal government's really wary about just handing out 501c3s because people do it for their own good. I recall you have to have some kind of a established sponsor. I don't know whether the city of Townsend
Oh,
would qualify for
Oh.
that.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not well versed in the nonprofit organization.
We can do a little
Roles.
research. We can do a little research and see. Okay.
There's Friends of the Smokies, if anybody knows anybody from that group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jill, I think would be more than happy to come in.
Yeah, I have talked to Jill with TCGA. I know that they were really trying to raise money for the school, like the elementary school, which is totally great because they need it. And I think that we're on her list. It's just, you know, so many hours in a day.
Are we,
Oh, there's-
so we can't ask,
No.
like they have to contact?
No. Are you asking TCGA or just like a nonprofit?
Right, like if we ask TCGA, like, hey, you know,
No, we can ask them. I'm saying like we can't start.
we can't start it ourselves.
We can't start a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a tough sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know their development director. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people would be willing, they just don't know. So we
Yeah.
just need to figure out a way to get the information out.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask one other question? 'Cause, can the Parks and Rec Department in Townsend start a youth soccer league? in charge, so much. I mean, my kids, that's where I got involved with Parks and Rec. When my kids were 5, 6, 7 years old, started playing soccer, then they played baseball and basketball, and all through the local 2,000 people little town in Illinois. So you don't even know that y'all can have
We can, but we don't have a facility field. We don't
no,
have facilities.
I'm just asking if
we
you
can.
can. Yeah,
we
right.
can.
If we could, yeah.
Maribel Alcoa
Since I
County
assumed that
does.
you could raise money, I also assumed, I didn't want to assume,
Yeah,
that.
Well, yeah, we can implement programs like that if we have the facilities for it and we have the money for it and the directors for it. Most of those programs have paid directors. We're all volunteers. So we're.
No, but, well, where I was from, it was a lady that, she was a volunteer, and then the coaches and the parents all did it. And she eventually got paid when she had 1,000 students, that's 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
We're a very, very small community.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have one of you
Yeah.
have a vested interest in it,
Right,
and
sure.
have kids,
Yeah.
or that,
Down the road though, yeah, that is a possibility.
because I was curious how many kids, and you already said there was 27 in the birthday club, and that's like 1/4, so you have about 100
there's
kids.
about
I was wondering how many.
105 at the elementary,
How many?
105.
Okay, I was curious how many.
Yeah. But no, those are all really great points, yeah.
And right now, there is a pretty established soccer league through Maryville Parks and Rec. I know my kids have done that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I think a lot of the kids that go to Townsend Elementary are just going there.
Sure.
It's established, they've got,
That's-
they've got
that's
the
what-
facilities.
That's what small towns
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah.
If they, kids want, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I've got a couple more things and I'm trying to get through it quickly. So, yoga, we talked about yoga. We were waiting on feedback from Will. Did we hear back from him?
Yeah, he sent a waiver. I thought I forwarded it to you.
I didn't get it.
Okay. Yeah, he sent one back. He said we just need to decide how we want to classify the instructor as either an independent contractor or a vendor.
Okay, what would be the difference for?
Well, an independent contractor, we would give them a 1099 at the end of the year. So I think a vendor would probably be
A vendor, the way to go. Okay.
And then he's working on, he said whatever we decide on that would determine what kind of hold harmless agreement he worked up for her. But we do have one for the participants.
We do have one for the participant, okay.
So I'll get back with him tomorrow on the classification sled there.
Yeah, because I was wanting to let her know something, because I think she told us that she would like to start a 6-week trial run in September. So. About the whole harmless agreements, and he just has to classify her as a vendor.
Yeah, he said whichever one we decided, that would determine the verbiage.
Is that what he recommended, is her to be a vendor?
He didn't recommend it one way or the other. He just said if we want her to be a part-time employee, which we know, no,
No.
independent contractor versus a vendor, so.
Okay. Okay.
Probably a vendor, but she's not gonna do a large amount of work, money-wise, it's just
No.
a few classes, so. So you're gonna check with her and see when she's thinking about starting? She was saying in
Yes.
September.
The quick, as soon as I can get that in my hands, to look over, I can send you a copy of it. Then we can start promoting it after I speak to her.
So yes, I need to promote that.
Yeah.
in advance.
But I still need to ask Vanessa if she's, are you still wanting to do this? So, I think she is though. She lives here in Townsend and a lot of people know her and she already does yoga. And, Miss Mina here, she's licensed to instruct yoga. So we already have one on the board. Okay. One more thing. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about libraries on social media, and I know there used to be one here. I was not fortunate enough to go to it, but I think you brought this up a few weeks ago to me about maybe Blount County, Friends of the Library, or doing like a mobile library possibly for Townsend.
Well, no, the director actually approached us last year. They're doing like a locker system where they would install a locker up here. People could order their books. They would have a staff member bring them up. The people could come in, pick up their books, and then when they're done, turn them in here. Then we just never heard back from them, but I did see, I think where Town of Louisville has one
Okay.
there, so that might be something to look into.
Yeah.
Just finding the spot for it, because they'd have
Yeah.
to go out and haul it.
There's also another option that's, you know, if something like that doesn't happen, there's the little free library that you can build, or you can buy one that's pre-made from their website, and then we can just stock it with books. That's also an option that we might want to think about. They have their own website, and you're chartered with a name, and like you get put on the map. Like if somebody's looking for a little library or something in town, because I don't know anybody in town that has a little free library.
There is one at the old building, where we used to be under that covered walkway. I don't know if it's stocked now, but it used to be a little library and people would bring books up.
It's
4 or 5 years ago.
It's very small.
Very
right?
small, yeah.
It's like this big, right?
It's teeny tiny.
It's teeny tiny. But that might be something we might want to think about adding to our parks. Is a little free library. So just I just wanted to bring that up and not overly discuss it, but kind of think about it. Because people apparently really miss having a library here. And I wish we had a building for it, you know, for a library. So that might be like a future project to get a library back to Townsend.
Do we have any Boy Scout troops?
I have no idea.
Girl Scout troops?
I have no idea.
Well, you know.
Girl Scouts, Boy
That
Scouts.
sounds like a great Eagle Scout or, yeah, goal project.
Yeah.
So that, anyways, Eagle Scout project.
Okay. Okay, anything else you all? I will get with Chief Stallions and Chief Condi so that we can discuss just the parade, and the manual and see what they have in mind. They might have other ideas. They might say we're okay. They might say that we need to adjust it. I don't know. They're the safety professionals, so we need to talk to them first. But the premier coach that called with the 45-foot rig, if they call again, just tell them to hold off, because I don't know if we're gonna allow that. Just tell them we're making adjustments to the manual. Or you don't even have to say that, but we're just taking a closer look at safety measures, because we need to. All right. It's not even 7:30 yet.
Good job, good job.
My goodness. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.